I need a backup. I need a backup for this. It has been a week of Mondays, as our friends would say. And we are here. We are back. Your favorite podcast, Queen Herby, Jedi Nick, co-hosting House of Herby, which is a motherfucking safe space. This week we're having hard kombucha, which is basically kombucha that's hard.
Yes.
And it's delicious.
I love hard things.
It is delicious. But no, this is your safe space for bad bitchery, self-discovery. Where every week we're trying to give you value and help you discover yourself. And this week we just barely have anything to talk about.
We made it to the end of the week.
This is the real test. Do you still care about the House of Herby if we don't have anything to talk about? Wow. What if we're just a bag of dicks? This is like one of my childhood wounds. Like, am I enough for you?
I know we talked about it a lot last week already, but this week has been even more intense for us.
Yes.
Than the week before.
Someday we'll tell you about it.
And I think someday maybe we'll be able to tell you about it. But
I know you're going through something too. Everybody listening right now is going through something.
They are. No, and that's what I'm saying. And it feels like, I know not to continue on last week, but it feels like it feels this way. Everybody that I'm talking to feels this way.
It's forcing all of us to figure this out. Like, how do we simply exist with this chaos and this energy of like...
Yeah, man. We got to just be nice to people.
We do have more examples of people being nice to people, which we will share with you at the end. And it does create a different momentum. So if you're going through something really difficult, doing something nice for a stranger does change the story. It changes the vibration. We've seen it happen so many times. So that's why this is like such a cool thing to feature.
You know what it is? It feels like when I have a day that I'm questioning my sanity or feeling like a fucking crazy person for no reason, one of the quickest things that snaps me out of it is just doing something nice for somebody. Fucking do something nice for somebody. I'm like, come on, let's go. Who's the first person I'm going to see?
Yes, you're getting something.
You're getting something.
It's like forcing
come here, give me a hug.
Forcing the energy to change.
I think that's what it is. It just feels like something needs to break, and I got to release something. I can't stay in this negative energy.
Yeah. And I think what negative energies bring us a lot of the time is like this feeling like the world is out to get us, or like there's no love left in it. Mm-hmm. And I think
it's a doom spiral.
It's a doom spiral. You have a choice though to change that, right? So I have a really hard time with that, like getting my body moving again. You start shallow breathing, right? You have to breathe deeply, and I'm like noticing I'm drinking a lot of water and taking naps.
It's
self-care regimens coming into play.
Intense.
It is. I'm going to read a quote from Eckhart Tolle, if I may.
Please read it.
This is a beautiful one that I found. I was doing a letting go meditation, which is one of our favorite things to do, is just find the trauma in our body and sit with it like a little child until it dissipates.
It's fucking work.
Ooh, it's work. Eckhart says, surrender is the simple but profound wisdom of yielding to rather than opposing the flow of life. Surrender is the simple but profound wisdom of yielding to rather than opposing the flow of life. So I was like, damn, so it's wisdom. So it takes time to learn this.
Well, it's like the ultimate baller move. Like any idiot can get mad and freak the fuck out.
Exactly.
Who can still be like chill and nice. That's the hardest. That's actually the hardest shit. Okay. Everything, everywhere, all at once.
That movie.
Did we talk about this yet?
That movie was crazy.
Oh my God. That movie fucked me in the fucking eye. That shit was so So I just did not, everybody said we needed to watch it.
And we were just like, sure.
Yeah, and then finally we're like, okay, we gotta fucking watch this shit.
Or I watched it while you were away.
That's what it was.
I just cried the whole time. And as soon as you got back, I was like, we're watching this tonight.
We're doing it.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, and we did. And I was like, oh shit, this is fucking crazy.
It made me feel very high vibrational. I remember we went for a walk after, and I just saw all the good in the world. All of it. I saw all of it, and it was so overwhelming.
Wow. See, that's good art, in my opinion.
Yeah,
you know?
It was beautiful.
Good art makes you like see the good in things.
Yep. So what we wanted to talk about this week is intuition, which is how good art is made. We need your art. Just a reminder. Your
Jesus.
weekly reminder. I hope you have been
Herby,
enjoying.
And I'm here to say I need your art.
Okay.
Why am I doing the Southern accent? Can I be
know.
from
It's
Maine?
Cool. No, it's cool.
Yeah. Well, I'm Queen Herby, and we need you at.
Need you at.
We need you at. Go up by 95 there.
That's
take
horrible.
a left up in Newport.
Why does it sound... No, it's not horrible.
No.
It's
Oh,
beautiful.
You don't like it?
It's culturally adorable. I like it.
I don't know what you mean. It's completely soothing. It's not nasal. I think it's fine.
The Maine accent.
Yeah, well, you fucking go right up there and fucking, yeah, straight up. I do this for people all the time, even people that are from Boston, and they think I'm joking.
There's also something so beautiful and endearing about it. So,
Yeah.
So intuition, we said a couple weeks ago, we were like, intuition is the space before your thoughts come in. That was our best description of this.
I love that.
Yeah. And I was like, damn, that's really interesting because meditation's so helpful because it actually slows down your thoughts, which would allow you then to access more intuitive responses. Yeah. I, of course, dove into like research on this afternoon, and I was like, let me just see what the scientists are saying. So they think, this is just a few sources I looked at, scientists think that intuition is just a random ass brain function.
They would.
They really have no like meaning. They have no woo.
Fascinating.
The scientists were like, oh, we don't know. It's a phenomenon of the brain and we don't understand the brain. And it feels like it must just be from your subconscious. And it's the brain trying to
make sense of it.
Predict.
Oh, predict.
Isn't that interesting? So I was like, okay, well, that's bars. That's a good point because the brain does try to predict.
I know we've mentioned this before with like Eckhart and other people who have kind of like had this realization that there's you and then there's like your body, which is also you, but it's like this, your body is constantly is concerned with survival.
Yeah.
All the time. So that's your brain.
Yep.
Right? Your brain is constantly like, which is why we have stress and fear and all these things. It's like a fight or flight. It's trying to make sure that we survive. But
by the way, it's not just fight or flight. It's also flee and fawn, according to a PTSD book I'm reading. So there are.
We'll tell you later why we're reading a PTSD book.
Here's the spectrum again. Like scientists are trying to figure this out, but it really is just a spectrum. Everything's a rainbow of possibility. Mm-hmm. So it is.
No, that makes total sense.
I respect scientists in saying that intuition is just a brain thing. It's like, okay, cool, but my question is why. Like, so they think we're just wandering this earth aimlessly with like an overactive brain. But like, why? Here's my question, because I think intuition plays into this. This is my only argument for the scientists.
Okay.
Why are some people intuitively better at some things than other people? Like, how do you explain talent in a particular field?
Yeah, I mean...
Some people hold a football and they're like, I just knew exactly what to do.
They put a ball in my hand.
I don't have that. That's intuition. So my other theory, besides intuition being this thing before your thoughts come in, is that intuition is your soul communicating directly with you.
Yeah, I mean, I abso-fucking-lutely. I completely agree with that. That makes total sense because what you said, it's what? It's so if it's not your body's reaction to it, then whose reaction to it is it? Is it? It's somebody. It's your fucking. I don't want to say soul because that seems like such a crazy.
That's
overused.
where you lose the scientists, right?
I know.
I love it. I love skeptics.
The soul made you play the trombone. It's like, no, okay, what the fuck are we talking about?
When you picked up the trombone,
I can't chart that.
You were better at it than other people. You know,
as soon as I had that boner in my hand.
It's destiny.
Yeah.
It's destiny. I think intuition is also this just magical thing that no one can explain.
But it happens in, a quiet what did I write down? A quiet mind allows the intuition to speak.
Yes.
So that is exactly the same thing you're saying. It's you have to be quiet because if you're not quiet, your brain will just start making shit up.
And if Eckhart Tolle said it's like I can't live with myself, meaning there's you observing.
So who else is in there?
Who else is in there?
Who the fuck is in there?
Your ego and your brain, right? So intuition must be your higher self or your soul trying to
communicate. Yeah. And you won't hear it if your brain is going crazy or if you're experiencing a lot of stress or fear or anger or any of these things.
Really difficult to access intuition when you're under a lot of stress. I notice like it's hard for me to be creative when I'm stressed because your logical brain is like trying to fix it and trying to do things, and it's like
maybe we should just get rid of stress. Can we just do like a fucking upgrade one of these times?
We're uncovering intuition in this episode, and I feel like if the removal of stress is the priority, we can talk about that.
Oh, yeah,
what's required? Let's get solutions. Like, what if we start solving problems?
Because stress is fucking horseshit. It's everywhere, and it's fucking awful.
And it's a killer. The same scientists in the same breath are like, well, stress kills. It's like, well, okay, but this is... Now you're not giving us solutions. You're just telling us things you don't understand.
Most of the reasons that we have of like people dying and shit failing and like falling apart and death... Developing
cancer?
Is from, what the fuck is cancer, man? So stress is an environment in which things allow like that to grow, in my opinion. And there may be other karmic things involved too. You may just be experiencing cancer because, that was part of your thing that you were supposed to experience this time.
What a world we live in. The scientists give us no answers. And here we are having to talk about woo-woo shit to make up for it because it is what makes the most sense. And if you think about how small we are on this tiny planet, in a tiny universe, in a tiny galaxy, in an endless...
Oh, yeah. Don't get me started on the fucking space shit, dude. Are you kidding? And then you just keep zooming out. She broke. She's broken. Oh, my God. We broke her. Queen Herby officially broke on Friday. No, you just keep zooming out, and we still don't know if there's an end, right? Have we found an end of the universe?
We have not found an end.
What? What are we talking about?
So that's overwhelming AF.
It is.
And that's why I think the only answer is to surrender.
It is.
You can't fight that.
Fuck, man.
You can't explain it.
It's it.
The answer is to
letting
surrender.
go is it's the lowest common denominator, dude.
It is.
Oh, fuck me. Isn't that so crazy? It's like a math equation. You just keep anger plus fear equals, and anytime you have this like fucking fucked up energy, it never makes shit better. Anytime you were angry about something and you acted in anger, did it solve something?
Never.
Jesus.
Never feels good either.
This is why Earth is a school, man. You have to experience it enough times to try to be enough on your shit that you're actually like, you know what? I'm just going to be here right now and I'm going to surrender everything else.
Correct.
Fuck.
Now, that being said, if you are being abused, if you're in a situation where you're being abused, eventually you do have to remove yourself from the situation and
that's
let
part
go.
of your journey.
Let go.
Yes. You have to stand up for yourself and
So it's not to say like surrender, just let everything go, like let people walk all over you.
Not apathy. That's different.
It's different.
Surrender is not apathy.
So again, if you're interested in these topics, the David Hawkins books are really amazing. Yeah. I've seen a lot of great feedback. Some people picked up the books already because you recommended them.
Oh,
it's pretty cool.
Bob, you get right up there. I-95, go up to the Barnes & Noble up there.
Oh, the Barnes & Noble up there.
Oh, yeah. Went out of business in 2008.
Oh, where do you come up with this?
I think they're still in business.
Okay.
Right up in Banga. Banga, highly Noah.
Banga.
Yeah, maybe my go-to
someday we'll invite you all to Maine. So you can experience this firsthand. We only do live shows in Maine. Everybody has to fly out there.
That's what Fish did.
Did they?
Yeah, dude. Shit. They shut down the entire fucking interstate.
Let us know in the comments this week. Let us know in the YouTube comments if you want to come see Queen Herby perform exclusively in Maine.
That would be dope.
That's so weird.
No, that's great. I would love to do that because I'm from Maine.
We could have a lobster boil.
Dude, lobster. You want a fucking clam boil, kid? My upbringing was amazing.
Pretty
Growing
amazing.
up in Maine, like I had no career roots, no musician, no, any of that as a result. But that's fine with me, man. The Maine upbringing was, and just my class was like a bunch of good kids. Like we all still talk to each other. We had a really good time.
And your parents are super you lucked out.
Oh my God, I tell them all the time. I'm like, I won the fucking lottery. Holy shit.
Because now reading all
this.
this.
But you don't know that.
I know.
When you grow up in it,
I know.
you have no other perspective.
No.
But then, and then when you get out and you talk to other people and you start to understand what their experience was, and you're like, oh my God, dude. You have been through
everything
such
else is so
insane...
serious. There's so many control systems. We talked about religion. I mean, it's rough.
Well, and also just raising a human on Earth in general is already like a lose-lose proposition, man.
It really is. I agree.
You have to it's already so insanely, it's impossible. And I think that's the point. Again,
if you survived, if you physically are still alive from your childhood, that was a success. The world is different now, and it is our generation and under, I feel like. It's our responsibility to usher in the change. They say we were like the transition crew.
Yeah.
If you listen to Dolores Cannon or read any of her books, because she's also a bad bitch. Rest in peace, baby.
Oh, did she?
Dolores Cannon was like, our generation and under is the transition crew. Jesus. We came here to literally change the paradigm of the earth.
Okay, so in astrology, everybody talked about in what year was it officially? Was it 2020 or 2021?
Somewhere around there.
There was like an actual line in the sand somewhere in there where we went from the transition from the old world to the new world.
Right. And as people talking about 5D, people are asking about the song now, and I'm like, amazing. Do some research. I am not the most professional person in this field, but there are spiritual people who have intuitive powers and abilities, like in talents, that are sharing this information, and it's real. So the reason that all of this has to do with intuition is because in the new earth, if we are upgrading our systems, we're upgrading our bodies and our nervous systems, and the value systems of the world are changing.
Yeah.
It's all happening right now. We are the transition crew, bitch. Hashtag transition crew.
I didn't sign up for this.
Intuition is going to be required. This is the new, like, we need to be more aware of our inner field. And that's why your nervous system, you know, you got to protect it with that inner, you got to quiet your mind. You got to meditate. You got to feel, you got to take the time to feel what it is that you want to do. And that's why finding your purpose, that's one of our best performing episodes so far. Find your purpose.
Is it really? Oh yeah, you
should be a basic fundamental requirement for human life, and no one has prioritized that for you.
Yeah.
Nobody taught you in school like
Instead,
this is important.
I did calculus, which I've totally used.
Come on, that's all going to change. I know it. So intuition, used by all great artists, thinkers, scientists, and so on. There's nobody who does anything that changes the world that doesn't use intuitive abilities. Mm-hmm. So
it's channeling, right? I mean, you're just connecting to you, I guess, or, you know, tapping into some other realm, vibrational realm of, you know, you're just able to access the truth.
Correct. And what is blocking us from using intuition? Like what's the block?
Our human experience.
Which is?
The human body. So the ego, right? It's also the personified as the ego, but the human body
and the ego is what's trying to make sure we don't die.
Exactly. It's only concerned about survival.
Oh.
So that's why it's always talking to us and trying to make sure, like, have you eaten? Did you drink water? Oh my God, you pay your taxes. Like it has to, maybe not in that order, but you know what I mean?
Which is fear, because.
Exactly. Because it needs to be focused on.
Thousands of years ago, we did have to fear for our lives physically.
Okay. This is also an Eckhart thing. He talks about like, we needed the ego to survive as a species at this point. And now it was the reason why we're here. Is because our ego was allowed us to survive. That's it. It's a survival mechanism. It's incredible. The human
it did its job.
Race is here because of it.
It did its job.
And now the only way we're going to be able to proceed is if we remove the ego.
Damn.
It's the only way forward. Doesn't mean we get rid of the body. We're still here in the body, but we need to remove the ego part to go forward. Now.
Yes. And what makes the ego so powerful? My theory is that it's
so powerful.
It's programming. It's programming. So like from a child, from a baby, you're told you need to make money. You need to do this. You need to stand up straight. Like for me in church, it was like, be quiet, look pretty and shut up. Like it was like,
who's rapping?
Yeah, it's like, you know, and that was, I think, generations. This is not just me. This is my mother. This is my grandmother. This is her mother before her. So it's programming over time, which we are undoing. We're the transition crew. And I think also abuse and toxic patterns, because other people who have not been able to fight their ego fears are putting those on us. That's why I do the aura cleanses, because I think people deposit these programs and energies on us that we don't even want. We didn't even ask for.
Yeah.
What happens when you ignore or deny your intuition?
Okay, intuitively, how do you make decisions? How did you know Carmen was done intuitively?
I knew Carmen was done. See, but it took many, many months.
Yeah.
Before, you know, I knew it was a toxic relationship with the label, where I was like, oh, this is not toxic. It was toxic in several ways, but I'm not complaining because it helped me so much. See, in hindsight, you're always going to appreciate it. But it was like,
a master's class.
Oh, this is not how we do business. You know, that's kind of been a theme of my life. Like I'll get into things where I'm
it was
oh,
a
this
clarification
is not...
on how we do business.
Yeah,
yes.
we didn't, as 20-somethings-year-olds, we came into it not knowing who we were as business people or as creatives even. Like we had just been alone in a Boston apartment making YouTube videos and not knowing like, oh, we don't stand for that kind of like behavior. We require that we are treated with respect, and that
it's not the vibe. It's just not the vibe.
It's not the vibe. We're not comfortable like singing songs other people write all the time. Like we want to.
So to me, yeah. And I remember when you came to me and you were like, it's time, man. It's like, what are we doing? I think what you said to me is like, what are we doing here? Because we were just so, I remember I personally started just being like angry all the time. And I'm not an angry person.
That's a sign that you're not listening to your intuition.
Yeah. You know,
Ignoring
you
or denying it over time, it does cause you to feel like you're not in alignment.
It comes out. Yeah.
Yeah.
It comes out in different ways. It makes you care about things you normally wouldn't have cared about.
The universe makes sure you're smashed up against it. So you have to, it's like trying to communicate, but you're just shutting it off. Well, everyone's telling me if I kill the band, like we'll never work in this business again. Like we'll never be successful. And then I was like, hold on, let me just make a little list of all the things that we've learned and all the things that we can do if the fans keep following, if we're able to create art that's provocative enough. It's our wish for all of you. It's our wish for all of you that are listening to use our experience as a way to discover your own path into joy, because Earth is fucked. And it's difficult.
And don't worry.
And you deserve the best, and you don't have to live in the old Earth. We can learn how to do this.
It's going to be awkward for a couple of years. And apparently you were telling me, and our fucking our astrologer was telling us, it's going to be awkward for a few years as we kind of like try to catch everybody up as we shift. But so like just bunker down.
Yes.
Keep doing nice fucking things.
For some reason,
have you had kombucha?
For real though, we appreciate y'all tuning in to this podcast, because it really is. And this is what my astrologer told me last year. He was like, you heal yourself and you in turn heal people that listen to you, because they're experiencing it firsthand. They're seeing a person. I'm just slapping my body right here.
Yep.
I'm a real person going through shit and healing herself. And that's the best way to do it. I can't sit here and tell you how to do this and how to be intuitive. I can just tell you I struggle with it. And you can watch me, fuck up if you want to. I can write songs for you, which are usually, I'm giving you my best. But I think it is fun to do this with you. And we've been doing it this way for over a decade.
Yeah, we have. Good ride.
We really developed. We put ourselves out there. We were like, here it is. I don't know. I'm going to crash your party though. It's like, what?
We had to develop in public. Yeah.
We developed in public, and all the criticism, all the learning, all the getting in and out of contracts, like it's taught us what we value. And we're telling you now that over time and learning to hone our intuition, like we are now living in alignment. And it's still going to be difficult. There's still going to be shit come up, because some people see that and they get jealous, or they act like, haters will come out of the woodwork when you start getting attention. That's like, we should have a whole episode on haters.
We should, because today, especially, hate is a part of the game.
It's on sale.
Hate is on. Ooh, is that a song? That's got to be a song.
Hate is on sale. It's so cheap. It's so easy. It's just an easier thing. It's easier to hate on somebody than to do the work on yourself and build something of your own.
And like, it's never about you either. It's about them.
Dude, just go build your own thing. I'm trying to inspire you. I want to answer this better. I don't know if I can, so that's okay too. But how do you know when it's your intuition or your ego? How can you tell the difference?
I think you have to be silent to know the difference.
So some form of meditation is required.
Or being by yourself for a little while, or just being still, finding a peaceful place where you can be still. Because I think
maybe journaling can help. Maybe like writing things down, and then taking a few hours off and coming back and reading it, because you're basically just.
This is almost just like decision making. So like for me, what I found a while ago was it was like I think about it for a long time. Now I just kind of just operate. I have to like just meditate about it, and then I'll know the answer. But for a while it was you think about it for a long time, and then actively just forget about it. Don't think about it for like a day, and then you come back, and when you think about it again, the answer seems pretty obvious.
Yeah,
it's kind of like right there. It's like, oh yeah, you need to do this, and it's like, oh okay, cool. So I feel like that's something I did for a while.
Ooh, this is a great new trail that we're going down. So taking time. If you don't know the answer, can you wait? Please wait.
Yeah.
Please sleep. Please have a snack.
Patience.
They say if you can't think or can't make a choice, have a snack.
I'm going to write a book about fucking patience at one point in my life, because patience is such a fucking pain in the ass. And it's, if you really have deep fucking patience, you can do anything. And once I like fundamentally understood that, I was like, oh, fuck. Got it.
something for me, for my witchy girls out there, my witchy babes, is the tarot deck. So this is something that, okay, and I just am realizing now that we're talking through this, I didn't even plan to talk about tarot, but it's a deck of cards, 78 cards that have lots of visual symbolism on them and numbers and suits. Like you've got the wands and the cups and the pentacles and the swords, which all represent different things, like from emotions to, there's so much symbolism in it. So if you are trying to speak to your soul and not your ego, a lot of times it's visual. So that's why I think tarot cards work for people and why we use them to pull intuitive messages into the physical realm. Because then you're shuffling these cards and you're putting your intention into the cards, right? So let's say you go to the store and you pick up some tarot cards and you're shuffling them. The point is to like ask them for things. And all this is you talking to yourself. You're talking to your subconscious with the cards. And so it gives you this practice. You pull a card and you look at it, and the first thought that comes up is your answer every time. And what I do is I also Google it, like what is the general meaning of the card, just to confirm or clarify. So I do think if you're having a hard time using your intuition, it might not be a bad idea to get either an oracle deck or a tarot card deck and start practicing, because you're then you also are getting rid of energy and you're like grounding yourself and trying to find another, like if you need to put it outside yourself while you're practicing this, cards are really helpful. I think that's why I've become so into them.
That's cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, the act of kindness for a stranger this week comes to us from So Bouchard, a YouTube comment. I was in the drive-thru on a beautiful sunny morning. I felt great. This was going to be a good day. Oh my God, I already love you. I looked in my rearview mirror and the girl behind me was on the phone looking really upset. So I thought that she deserved a good day like me. So I paid for her order. Felt great.
Oh, nice. I love that. That's a Maine thing. People used to do that in Maine all the time.
Also, I bought Power vs. Force after listening to your podcast. Never been this mind blown before.
Hey,
let's
Hawkins,
go.
Go fuck yourself.
That is so cute.
Wow.
Imagine how that girl felt after that.
Yeah, God, you ruined her day.
That's
good job.
That's kind of what we were saying at the beginning of this episode, was like, you just changed the frequency.
Yeah, it went from
it's
terrible
like changing,
to even worse.
No, it's like changing the station. It's like changing a radio station.
Yeah.
You literally just don't tune into that energy anymore because somebody else threw you a bop. And you were like, bitch, I'm on 101.6 now. Don't try me. Your good deeds that you're doing are changing the world. And we just want to thank you. Jesus,
Thanks.
Mary, and Joseph, we're grateful for you. And that's it. That's
give us this day our holy bread.
Motherfucking truth.
Is that, how do you say it? Give us this day your holy bread.
Wow.
Our daily bread.
He said holy bread.
Give us this day our bread daily. Give me my bread daily, tax-free.
Gluten-free if possible. Give us this day our gluten-free bread.
Our parentheses gluten-free bread.
We love it when you send us messages about the nice things you're doing for people so that we can partially make fun of you, but also just share the good vibrations and help you change the station.
Keep them coming.
Because look, you doing that, you changed somebody's station from like a sad station to a happy station, and we fucking live for that.
And rate and review.
Is
that what it's called? Or is it...
Listen do it for Nick, because he doesn't know.
Rate and review. Is that what it is?
Have you listened to any podcast yet?
It. Say, I'm from fucking Maine. Fix your fucking face.
I've been enjoying some more podcasts. I just love that we get to be a part of this. I love that y'all listen. Thank you for watching. And
did I say it before?
You should say it in the mic so later we're like.
Also, please send us your questions.
We can't even get through it.
Please send us your questions.
We were talking the other day. We were like, oh, we should probably consider doing ads at some point so that we can make money off the podcast. But we just haven't. And we're like, oh, it's going to be really difficult. And y'all are going to get to enjoy it.
Can I read the... No, you should probably read the ads. Do I read the ads?
Let us know if you think Nick should read the ads or if I should read the ads.
I have to do it in a Maine accent every time. Well, come on down and grab your Jackson lumber. Come on up by 95.
Can you imagine a lumber company wanting
Exit
to advertise
53.
on this podcast? Are y'all shopping for wood?
Come on, get some wood up at lumber. Banga Lumba Company.
So yes, you should look forward to our advertisements if it ever happens. But also, we would love to do a whole episode, Q&A episode. This is kind of I'm excited about this because I want to hear your specific questions. We're going to have Alex sort through and pick the best questions. We go through the comments every week. We love hearing from you, and we would love to do a whole episode just answering your questions. So until next time, keep doing amazing. We love you. Your intuition is more powerful than you know. And we will see you next week, my loves.